I think you guys should do Daria because, like, Daria is sarcastic, artistic, satirical, black sheep, and I'm...
Believe it or not, MTV's original programming wasn't always reality TV shows and Teen Wolf. Long ago, there was once an animated series starring an intelligent, insightful, and hysterical young woman named Daria. She was the embodiment of all of our teen angst and wit combined, and we loved her for it. I'm Neil McNeil with Channel Frederator, and we're revisiting the girl who perfected shade throwing and rocked those glasses long before hipsters stole her look. Are you a diehard fan or just wondering who this Daria chick is that us adults keep talking about? Well, we've got something here for everyone as we count down the 107 facts you should know about Daria. Let's get started. Fact number 1, the world first met Daria not on her own show, but on the widely popular MTV series Beavis and Butthead created by Mike Judge. Judge is also known for King of the Hill, Silicon Valley, The Good Family, Office Space, and Idiocracy. Number 2, she has even appeared in some of the early Beavis and Butthead comic books. In the Marvel spin-off comic, she was a minor character like on the show, but she also had her own special column in each of the issues. It was called Dear Diarrhea, where fans had the chance to write to Daria and ask her questions. Fact number 3, Daria's main incentive for hanging out with Beavis and Butthead was to annoy her parents. Now that girl, I can relate to. Number 4, John Garrett Andrews, who was working on Beavis and Butthead at the time, based his design of Daria on a girl he was dating his senior year of high school. He drew this initial design on a paper plate left over from a lunch meeting. This was the first drawing done of Daria after all parties had weighed in on what her image should be. Number 5, the design goal for Daria was to make her pretty but plain. Mike Judge was afraid that he might make her too ugly. Number 6, Daria is 5 feet 2 inches tall, when she's wearing her boots at least. Short girls represent. Number 7, Daria was voiced by Tracy Grandstaff, who everyone mistakes for Janeane Garofalo. Garofalo even acknowledged the similarities between herself and Daria in a special behind-the-scenes episode of Daria that she hosted. Number 8, Garofalo was one of the inspirations for Daria though. Darlene Connor from Roseanne was another. Daria's sarcastic and witty personality has been compared to writers Dorothy Parker and Fran Lebowitz. That's some good company to keep right there. Number 9, when asked why MTV chose Daria for a spin-off series, former MTV Senior Vice President Abby Turcool explained, "We created Daria's character because we wanted a smart female who could serve as a foil. We thought about it and decided that Daria was funny in her own right and worthy of her own series." Number 10, when Andrews asked Judge for permission to make a standalone show based on Daria, Judge responded, "It's okay with me as long as I don't have to do anything." Number 11, despite this, Judge was displeased with the show's production. In an interview with the AV Club, he said, "A couple of the producers told me that they were going to possibly spin off Daria, and I thought it might be a good idea. Next thing I knew, they were just doing it, and I wasn't crazy with some of the people they hired. I think they were just trying to show that they could do something without me. A normal network would never do that kind of stuff unless you were a real to them. I feel like Beavis and Butthead helped a lot with these people's careers, and then they do this series without even consulting me on it." Number 12, the first question in developing the Daria series was whether or not the show should take place in Highland, the city that Beavis and Butthead was set in. Everyone's reaction was an unequivocal no. The creators wanted to give Daria a whole new world to inhabit, one that wasn't ruled by the laws of Beavis and Butthead. Number 13, the development budget for pitching the series was around $25,000. Number 14, the idea of making a standalone show about Daria wasn't to broaden the Beavis and Butthead brand, but to appeal to the demographic of teenage girls. Number 15, before Daria was chosen to be the show that filled that gap, there were 4 other pilots presented to MTV. One of them was called Sneeze Louise, about a girl who was literally allergic to bullshit and let out an enormous sneeze whenever she smelled it. Unfortunately, none of these 4 pilots tested well in focus groups. Number 16, Daria's pilot episode was called Sealed with a Kick. It premiered a new version of Daria, departing from her Beavis and Butthead look and coming into her own. Karen Disher, supervising director and character designer, says she based the new Daria outfit off of the Beavis and Butthead look, but made her more attractive than she was. Even though the pilot was in black and white, the character design was the beginning of the girl that we know now. Number 17, Susie Lewis Lynn, now going by Susie Lewis, was also a story editor for Beavis and Butthead with Glenn Eichler, helping him usher Daria into a brand new world. After Daria, she moved on to being an executive and supervising producer for a number of shows including G4TV.com, the MTV Video Music Awards, and Sea Rescue. Number 18, Disher did everything for the original pilot, but directed. Her duties included the original characters, storyboards, and layouts. Fact number 19, Daria premiered on MTV on March 3rd, 1997. It's already 19 years old. If you're seeing the past 19 years of your life flash before your eyes, it'll be alright. Adulthood isn't all that bad. Number 20, a major reference and inspiration for Daria was the television show My So-Called Life. Another great TV show gone far too soon. Number 21, in the pilot for Daria, there were some things we never got to see on the show. The voices of Quinn and Helen were a bit different. Daria's expression was a little more animated than we're used to seeing, even though she's still her sarcastic self. And in the pilot, Quinn also sports thigh highs, loafers, shorts, and a collared polo shirt. Number 22, while Tracy Grandstaff also voiced Daria in Beavis and Butthead, there is a significant change in her voice. In Beavis and Butthead, her voice was a bit higher for Daria, but over the years, Tracy slowly progressed it down to the more monotone voice that we are all too familiar with. Number 23, the theme song for Daria is You're Standing on My Neck by the grunge band Splendora. Number 24, can you guess how many la 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 la's there are in the theme song? Turns out it's 109. Number 25, in an interview with Kara Wilde, Eichler explained where some of the names in Daria came from. Daria's name was inspired by a girl Mike Judge used to call Diarrhea. Co-creator Susie Lewis named Trent after Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails, and Eichler thought Jane Lane's name sounded great with Daria's three-syllable name. Number 26, the name Daria is actually the female form of Darius, which means he who holds firm to good. The more you know. Number 27, Morgendorfer is the maiden name of Beavis and Butthead writer David Felton's mother. When Andrews heard her name, he knew it was a perfect fit for Daria. Number 28, Olivia Ward, the design supervisor, was inspired by popular magazines and television shows in the 1990s when designing the characters' outfits. The inspirational TV shows behind these outfits included Dawson's Creek, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Party of Five, 90210, and Seventh Heaven. Number 29, Lawndale High School's cheerleaders were also inspired by popular 90s actors. Jenny McCartney inspired Brittany Taylor, Sarah Michelle Gellar inspired Angie, Jennifer Love Hewitt inspired Lisa, and Katie Holmes inspired Nikki. Number 30, the cheerleaders weren't the only ones modeled after popular actors. In the episode Just Add Water, the fashion club dates are based on James Vanderbeek from Dawson's Creek, Scott Foley from Felicity, and Nicholas Brendan from Buffy. Number 31, over the span of 4 seasons, the character of Mac was voiced by 4 different men: Dylan Ferdinand, Paul Williams, Kevin Daniels Jr., and Amir Williams. Number 32, according to Andy Bernstein, Mac was the hardest to write. She says he was the least complex character of all, and he was somewhat underdeveloped. Number 33, Wendy Hoops voiced 3 characters on the show: Quinn, Helen, and Jane. She also ranges her voice in a high, medium, and low setting. The highest voice was for Quinn, the medium was for Helen, and the lowest was for Jane. Number 34, Hoops is an actor and director as well. She has starred in Law & Order SVU, Captain America the Winter Soldier, and Elementary. Number 35, the characters of Kevin Thompson, Mr. DiMartino, and Mr. O'Neill were all voiced by the same person, Mark Thompson. Thompson confessed that his favorite character to play was Kevin because he was closest to his personality, just inflated on steroids. Number 36, when reading the original script, Thompson imagined Mr. DiMartino as a Vietnam War vet and modeled him after Christopher Walken. Hey everybody, taking a quick break from the facts because we here at Channel Frederator want to hear from you. You clearly love cartoons and movies, but are we covering all the things that you like? We want to know. All we're asking is that you take a quick moment to click the link here or in the description below to fill out a quick survey. We're giving everybody who completes a survey a discount to StashRiot.com, and as an added bonus, we're giving away 1 free StashRiot.com gift card to any qualified participant. Terms and conditions apply. All you have to do is click the link down below and fill it out. It's that easy. So help us out by letting us know what you want to see here, because remember, Frederator loves you. Number 37, Susie Lewis-Lynn, the creator and a creative consultant for Daria, voiced Andrea in the episodes Too Cute, Fair Enough, The Big House, and Daria Dance Party. Andrea is also a webcomic artist and had a webcomic in the Daria database called Gothic Knights. Number 38, Grandstaff revealed her favorite part about playing Daria was her biting sense of humor. I mean, obviously. Number 39, Ashley Albert, the voice of Tiffany and Mrs. Barch, described herself as a little Daria, a little Quinn, and a little Mr. DiMartino. Number 40, the character Upchuck's real name is actually Charles Ruttenheimer III. Number 41, Charles Upchuck Ruttenheimer III, Ken Edwards, and Leonard Lamb were all actually voiced by actor Jeffrey Arndt. You may recognize him from 500 Days of Summer and Body of Proof.
The snozberries taste like snozberries.
Number 42, Jane's first character design was not always the Picasso-like figure she is now. She started off with a punk look. She had short cropped hair with a partially shaved head and long earrings instead of regular studs. Another beginning sketch for Jane almost had her looking a bit like Jodie. She had a 2-pocket vest, a sweater, and high-waisted pants with cross earrings and long hair. Number 43, alter egos were used at the end of every episode of Daria. These alter egos usually showed all of the characters dressed up in a pop culture reference in different situations or just as other versions of themselves. Some of these egos included Helen as the Bride of Frankenstein, Jane as David Bowie, Jodie as Jimi Hendrix, Mystic Spiral as the Blue Man Group, and so many more. Number 44, other big stars have come out of Daria as well. Sarah Drew from Grey's Anatomy and Mad Men fame played Stacey Rowe, a Fashion Club member. Ashley Albert, who voiced Tiffany Blum-Deckler and Mrs. Barch, also lended her voice to Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead Redemption. Mark Thompson, who voiced Kevin Thompson and other characters in the show, also lended his voice to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and the Pokédex in Pokemon. Number 45, in an interview with Kara Wilde, Eichler admitted that there are no lost episodes. He said the schedule and budget didn't allow allow for that luxury. Once we committed to an episode idea, that was it. Number 46, there's a lot that went into a Daria episode. The budget per episode for Daria was a little less than $500,000. Splitting their duties, it took 35 artists supervised by Susie Lewis-Lynn and 6 to 8 freelancers supervised by Eichler to get the job done. The animation work was done overseas in Korea, but each half-an-hour episode took about 10 months to produce. Number 47, the recording sessions were super important for Daria to come full circle. Actors would go home with the script and read it over and get comfy with it, and then come back to put their voices to the test. For Daria, they would record their lines in sound booths alone without any of the other cast members to interact with. The actors would then say their lines over and over again until they got the tone and voice of their characters just right. Number 48, Amy Palmer, a producer on Daria, noted it took about 2 hours or more for the voice actors to get about 15 to 20 lines down. Number 49, Disher modeled a couple of background characters after the production crew of Daria. These characters can be seen in the episode I Loathe a Parade. She even modeled a character after herself, Burnout Girl. Number 50, Janie Mertz, who voices Brittany Taylor and Sandy Griffin, was a production assistant for Beavis and Butthead. When creating Brittany's voice and personality, Mertz was inspired by Loretta from Cheers. Number 51, sensitive and earthy Mr. O'Neill's voice was based on a teacher Thompson had in high school. Number 52, Daria had 2 love interests before Tom came into the picture. First, she had the biggest crush on Trent, Jane's brother. Then in season 3, we saw Daria get comfortable with a guy named Ted in the episode The New Kid. He made his own furniture, grew his own corn, and everyone thought he was in a cult. Ah, young love. Number 53, Bernstein said she became an expert on writing Daria and Trent sexual tension scenes. She's responsible for some of the most adorable scenes involving Daria and Trent, like the one in Road Warriors where they're waiting for Jane and Jesse to come back, and in Les Miserables where Daria realizes her crush is just a crush. Number 54, Tom was created to bring the evolution of Daria's personality to the forefront by finally giving her a boyfriend. He started off as Jane's boyfriend because Daria needed to get to know somebody before she could date them. Eichler said that the amount of closeness that they shared would be great, and they'd grow on each other before they dated. Number 55, in a letter penned to the fans in the DVD box set, Eichler explained why the music had changed from the original run of the show. If they went back and paid for the licensing of the music that they had used during the original run of Daria, the box set wouldn't have been able to get made. So to get the box set done, they sacrificed 99% of the original music. Number 56, Mystic Spiral was always in a constant spiral, no pun intended, on changing their name. One of these choices included something explosion. Number 57, Mystic Spiral had quite the interesting start. Trent and Jesse met when they were 12 years old in summer school. In high school, they met their friend and drummer Max Tyler when they placed an ad in the paper. The last key member, Nicholas Campbell, met the band when he was hitchhiking on the road. And of course, there's Jesse's brother Danny, who continued to help the band, just wanting to be cool and in a band. Number 58, Mystic Spiral had a page on Reverb, an affiliated MTV website, and it described their type of music style. Their listed musical influences included Jane's Addiction, Morrissey, The Doors, Cockatoo Twins, Zappa, 9 Inch Nails, Nirvana, Gregorian Chants, and the Banana Splits. Number 59, before Mystic Spiral's name became permanent, Jesse and Trent would go by the names Boa Constrictor, Wax Lips, and Indian Burn. Jesse even performed in a band called Bats with Guns, Cats with Gats, and Bats with Bats. Number 60, in March 2002, Eichler handed MTV a pilot script for a Mystic Spiral spin-off. Sadly, MTV Animation got locked away before the script came to be. Eichler has said that he's sad that he'll never actually get to hear the song that he wrote for the script, Incontinent Love. Number 61, Eichler has had quite the career. First, he was the editor of the National Lampoon, then became a story editor for The Max, originally a comic by Sam Keith, as well as Beavis and Butthead. During and after Daria, he would write episodes of popular TV series like Clarissa Explains It All, The Rugrats, Bratz, Big and Small, and more. Yet he got his even bigger break when he became a writer and consulting producer on The Colbert Report. He's won 4 Primetime Emmys for his work on The Colbert Report, and even wrote a couple of episodes of The Late Show with Stephen Colbert. Number 62, before the end of season 2, Daria and Jane hosted a top 10 animated music videos countdown for MTV. The top 5 videos included Leave Me Alone by Michael Jackson at number 5, Paranoid Android by Radiohead at number 4, Money for Nothing by Dire Straits at number 3, Love Roller Coaster by the Red Hot Chili Peppers at number 2, and Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel at number 1. Number 63, Have You Seen This Boy? In the season premiere episode Esteemsters, he was a part of Daria's self-esteem class. During that season, he could be seen as a background character in most episodes, but only had had a speaking part in that season 2 premiere. In the episode Les Miserables, he appeared on the back of a milk carton as missing. However, after he's gone missing, he's seen a couple more times in the background like a tree grows in Lawndale. I guess he was found? Number 64, that character was also referred to as the Head among fans due to the fact that he wears a shirt with the head on it. This references an MTV show called The Head, which premiered in 1994. In addition, the announcer of Sick Sad World was John Worth Lynn Jr., who also worked on The Head and was also a co-producer on Beavis and Butthead with Eichler and Lewis. Number 65, Jody Landon, Michael Jordan Mackenzie Mack, and Jody's parents are the only African-American characters seen in Daria. Some can be seen in the background of the show, but Jody brings up the lack of diversity on occasion and even calls herself, quote, the Queen of the Negroes. Jody and Mac are also always voted homecoming king and queen because of the lack of diversity, which Mac acknowledges by saying, yes, it's such a generous and enlightened gesture. It completely makes up for the town's utter lack of diversity in my mind. Number 66, Mac's full name is Michael Jordan Mackenzie. I wonder who he's named after. Number 67, oh, how the rivalry was strong between Helen Morgendorfer and her sisters Rita and Amy. Although it was never explicitly stated in the series, Eichler revealed that Helen and her sisters were all in their 40s. Rita, the oldest, was 48 to 49, Helen was 45, and Amy, the youngest of them, was 40. Number 68, when writing episodes of Daria, the writers drew inspiration from embarrassing teen lingo. Nina Bieber even confessed that she found the word jiggy on the editorial page of Jane magazine and thought, why not use that, whatever that is. Number 69, according to the Daria diaries, Helen's astrological sign is a Cancer and Jake's astrological sign is a Capricorn. Helen and Jake had to write the signs down next to their names when they took their vows of commitment on June 26, 1975. Number 70, Jake Morgendorfer is in a constant state of hostility regarding his military past. According to Eichler, Jake was in military school from 6th to 10th grade and was eventually kicked out for being unsoldierly. Number 71, throughout the series, Jake has talked openly about his resentment towards his father. In the episode Jake of Hearts, we meet his mother after he suffers a heart attack. In this episode, it is revealed that Jake said he might have wanted to go to tennis camp, but instead his father sent him to military school and twisted his words. Number 72, in the episode Slappy Anniversary, Jake started working for an up-and-coming startup called BuzzDome.com. Believe it or not, this website is real. If you search this domain, it turns out to be Daria's staff writer Andy Bernstein's website. Number 73, throughout the series, Daria attends Lawndale High School, but in the pilot, her school was called Modern Day High. Number 74, Lawndale High has 1,400 students. Daria sure beat out a lot of kids when she won the Diane Fossey Award for dazzling academic achievement in the face of near and total misanthropy. Number 75, a running joke in the show is Quinn never revealing Daria to be her sister. Quinn usually refers to Daria as her cousin, or a visiting exchange student, an out-of-town volunteer worker, a girl who lives with them, or many other things. Number 76, Sandy never acknowledges Quinn as Daria's sister either. She'll usually refer to her as her maid, a foreign exchange student, or the most famous one, her cousin or whatever. When Daria has to teach a class while the teachers are on strike, Quinn proudly proclaims Daria as her sister. Sandy freaks, but Tiffany and Stacy already knew, saying that they were just being polite about it. Number 77, another running gag in the show is that they never get Jamie's name right. He has either been called Jeremy, Jimmy, Jamil, or Jerome by Quinn and other students. The first time someone actually gets his name right, who isn't Joey or Jeffrey, is in the episode Fair Enough. In this episode, Mr. DiMartino refers to Jamie by his actual name as a distraction so he can knock him over with his lance. Never underestimate Mr. DiMartino, kids. Number 78, Daria and Jane met in self-esteem class and created a lasting bond. They were the first to complete self-esteem class the fastest out of any year because Jane knew all the answers and took the class 6 times. After Esteemsters, we never heard about the psychology test or from the psychology teacher ever again. Number 79, however, in the Daria diaries, the psychological test Quinn and Daria participated in are listed in the book. When asked to draw an animal that best represents themselves, Quinn drew a beautiful swan with gorgeous eyelashes. Daria naturally drew a pigeon with its head in a hole. Number 80, Jane Lane carries a lot of artistic influences into Daria, including Jasper John's Flag Speed Trapped, Jackson Pollock, and Francisco Goya's The 3rd of May, 1814 in Daria's Dance Party, and Vincent van Gogh in the episode Artburn. Number 81, Jane has had her fair share of love interests on the show. Evan in See Jane Run, Bobby Bighead, Daria's nickname for him, in The Invitation, Tom Sloan, and Nathan in the episode Life in the Past Lane. She's even had a crush on her brother's bandmate, Jesse. Number 82, when Daria was in elementary school, she used to play the flute and was forced to play Pop Goes the Weasel every day for a year. year. After 5th grade, Daria quit playing the flute, and Jake accidentally ran it over with his car. Number 83, over the course of 5 seasons and 2 movies, Daria has had an extensive library of books with a huge knowledge to compare situations she's been through to. These books and comparisons contain some classic titles such as How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie, Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest by Ken Kesey, Howl and Other Poems by Allen Ginsberg, The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, and many, many more. Number 84, Daria has also written a lot over the years. One of her stories, Right Where It Hurts, was similar to Sense and Sensibility and foreshadowed Jake's heart attack in season 3. Other stories include No Life, No Hope, No Future, The Bleakness That Lies Behead, Mommy's Little Hypocrite, The Old and the Beautiful, and Where the Future Takes Us. Number 85, in the episode It Happened One Nut, the students take a career assessment test. The results are as follows. Jane will become an accountant after 3 years of putting C's for all of her answers. Daria will become a mortician because her lack of interest in personal interaction makes her a perfect candidate for working with the dead. Kevin will become a gas jockey, and Quinn will be a neck model for jewelry catalogs. Number 86, throughout the series, Helen has a career as a corporate lawyer. Eichler has confirmed that Helen does eventually make partner at her law firm. Way to go, Helen. Number 87, in an interview with Kara Wilde, Eichler explained where Helen's family and Jake's family might live. He explains that Helen's family would come from someplace like Virginia, while Jake's family comes from a mid-Atlantic suburb outside of somewhere like Baltimore. Number 88, ever wonder why Daria's room is padded with mattresses on the walls? The family who previously lived in the Morgendorfer house had a schizophrenic aunt who was a shut-in and stayed in Daria's room. Number 89, at the kitchen table, Jake is always reading the business section and Daria is always reading the arts. In the episode of Human Bonding, Daria proclaims that this is their bonding time as he's worried that they don't spend enough time together as is. Number 90, in the episode Murder She Snored, Daria is charged with the murder of Kevin Thompson. Throughout the episode, there are tons of television detective references. The episode title Murder She Snored was directly a reference to Murder She Wrote. The fashion club comes on the scene as Charlie's Angels with Upchuck as Charlie. When Jake becomes a detective, he becomes Pink Panther Inspector Clouseau, and Daria and Jane are dressed up as characters Magnum and Higgins from Magnum P.I. Number 91, Mr. O'Neill started off as not being able to remember students' names. In the Daria Diaries, we got to take a look inside how Mr. O'Neill remembers these names. For Daria, he broke her name down into 2 parts. Dari rhymes with sorry, and which is part of He drew Brittany as a Brit and gave her an exaggerated knee. For Mac, he rhymes it with sack and then drew him on a mackerel. Oh, Mr. O'Neill, you're so precious. Number 92, MTV even let the writing team create blogs for some of the characters. Unlike some of the other sites, this one is still very much up and running. Number 93, there are 2 books based on Daria, the Daria Diaries and the Daria Database. These books were full of in-universe information, so thanks for the quality facts, guys. Number 94, Daria's 6 Sad Life Planner was a piece of software with a digital journal, address book, calendar, and planner. It's based on the show and includes quotes, graphics, and clips from Daria. Number 95, in the Daria Database, writer Peggy Nickel outlines the Morgendorfer weekly budget. Jake Morgendorfer spends $195.79, Quinn spends $77, Helen spends $446, and Daria spends $65, which is mostly spent on a Montana cabin fund. Quinn gets a $20 allowance and Daria gets $25 from their parents. Number 96, the premiere of the TV movie special Is It Fall Yet was a big freaking deal. It was 2 hours and commercial free. It also included the premiere of Mystic Spiral's Tie-Dye Dream Freakin' Friends video and a mini special Daria behind the scenes. The premiere of Is It College Yet, Daria's final send-off movie, was also huge. This included not only the 2 hours, but the band Garbage premiered their video breaking up the girl within Daria. Number 97, in the Daria movie Is It Fall Yet, there were a couple of voices you may recognize. David Grohl from Foo Fighters played sleazy artist and art instructor David Dotson. Carson Daly from MTV's Total Request Live played Quinn's tutor David Sorensen, and singer-songwriter Biff Naked played Jane's new art friend Allison. Number 98, instead of the regular alter egos for the end of Is It Fall Yet, they used bloopers from the movie and some alter egos. Some of the bloopers they used were Daria, Jane, Andrea, and Jody playing as Mystic Spiral, Jane getting hit in the head with a boom mic, Helen and Jake making faces at the camera, Jody getting her hair shredded in a paper machine, and Mr. DiMartino's eyes finally bursting out of their sockets at summer camp. Number 99, as Is It College Yet progressed, all of the characters ended up in a college or school. Daria would go to Raft University, Jane to Boston Fine Arts College, Tom to Bromwell University, Jody to Turner University, Mac to Vance University, and Brittany to Great Prairie State University. The Fashion Club would stay at Lawndale to complete their senior year, and Kevin will have to stay at Lawndale to repair Pete his senior year. Poor guy. Number 100 after Is It College Yet? The alter egos for the characters flash among the screen like normal, but these are a bit different. Fans thought they were predictions as to who and what the characters were going to do/be in the future. However, Eichler said that these were not canon, they were just for fun. Number 101, according to Eichler, Daria will grow up to be a story editor of a cable show with a PhD in French literature. Number 102, in 2000, Simon & Schuster Interactive created a game, but not just any type of game. They created Daria's Inferno. In the game, you play as Daria as she falls asleep in English reading Dante's Inferno. You must play through different types of puzzles and quests in order to get out of Daria's nightmare Lawndale. Fact number 103, in 2010, Daria was licensed as a voice for Garmin and TomTom GPS devices. Number 104, there were talks of Daria returning to TV back in 2011, but nothing concrete has been confirmed. Number 105, in July of 2013, College Humor created a trailer starring Aubrey Plaza as Daria, Cassia Miller as Jane, and Kendra Bates as Quinn. It centered around Daria coming back to Lawndale to take part in their high school reunion. Number 106, Van Toffler, the general manager of MTV, saw Daria as the closest thing to a poster child the network had. And finally, fact number 107, in 2002, Daria was on the list of TV Guide's 50 greatest cartoon characters. She came in at number 41, but left a mark on every misfit who went to high school ever since. Daria has gone on to become one of the founding daughters of every high school teenager who's felt out of place in the world. The cast and creators of Daria even recognize the cultural influence the show has had on everyone, including themselves. Thanks for watching the 107 facts you should know about Daria. What's your favorite sarcastic Daria takedown? Sound off in the comments down below. And if you like this video, be sure to check out some of the other 107 fact videos by clicking the annotations or the links in the description. We have new videos dropping every week, so let us know which animated movie or show you want us to cover next. And if you like getting more from your cartoons, subscribe to Channel Frederator because remember, Frederator loves you.
I would love to see 107 facts off of maybe, I don't know, or maybe something off of gosh, I have to call back maybe with more ideas.